Hello, this is Alekius, and welcome back to episode 5 of Automation with Kiev Motors, where we are looking at the drumstick model, and we're looking at the various trim names. And we designed these first three on camera, being the relatively sports models, this one having been tested on the BeamNG test track. And then we have the three family and utility models. They're a little bit more boring, but we tested this one on the track as well to demonstrate how different it can be, even though it's the same car, different trim. So we can see a little bit, actually, let's back out. So you can kind of see how these cars compare. We have a 4-door basic sedan, 4-door basic wagon, and a 2-door basic pickup truck. You can see all their overall stats here. Now, how they ended up, I'll click through relatively quickly. The sedan ended up front-wheel drive, 2-gear automatic, open differential. Spacing, I think I tried to keep the same. Tires, I tried to keep this the same between all models, except for the compound, which is hard long life, for the family model, of course. 2-shoe drum brakes, front, rear brakes, single shoe, very small front brakes, very big back brakes, at type 35. You'll notice some of the quality sliders changed between the last episode and this episode. So some of the other values for the other cars changed. And then probably no surprises on the rest of this. Final suspension. And there we have it. Like the values for the Cornish, Basque, and Bantam changed a little bit because I changed the quality sliders, tweaking them, getting that last few points. The 4-door wagon should be identical, almost, slightly different brake sizes, to the 4-door sedan. No extra row of seats. And the Buckeye truck, which front-wheel drive automatic, manual locker differential. How much of a pickup truck is it then? More for city use. Much smaller back brakes, since it weighs a lot less. No skid tray, bench seat in the front. Nice seats, not horrible buckets. And there you have it. What we haven't done yet is set up the production for the factory. And I'm thinking these ones are not going to sell as much as these ones are. Looking at it straight down the line. And we have the convertibles. Convertible Sport, Budget, and Regular, Convertible, and Convertible Premium, which also hits the Premium Budget, and a little bit of the Sport, but I think those get covered by a track. Okay, not quite. A track, which hits some of the sports as well. Then we have our Family Budget, which also hits Fun Budget quite solidly, more so than the Fun Budget car, which does not make a very good family. I've thought about axing this vehicle, but it hits straight down the line, 130, 140, 160, 200, whereas this one does not. It hits that Fun Premium, the Pony. The sedan hits the Pony budget a little bit better. Then you have the Family Utility. which also hits the utility budget a little bit better, but the pickup also hits the off-road categories and heavy utility. There's a lot of crossover between all of these. We go out and we look at our world markets and trends. We want Deluha as well. Look at our demographic sizes. Our fun column, not a lot there. Our light sport, or track, pretty limited. Convertibles, small market. And that takes care of all of our sports vehicles. Then we have family budget, which there's tons in this category. There's significant city budget, not so much city eco. We are hitting the commuter, just not very well. Family utility, there's a lot. Utilities, there's a lot. So if we go back to our car project, I'm seeing these as being producing a lot. These ones not producing a lot. So what do we do for the factory then? I'm thinking we're going to invest in a medium plot, or maybe we'll do a large plot, build it for a future. We'll do a medium one, steel presses, and this will be for Java, the Brackle, and the Buckeye. And we will do 60-60 for quality and automation. That'll give us 1,200 vehicles. Do the factory sign off. Start a new factory. Jana. Probably do a medium plot because we're going to do smaller runs with this factory. We'll do the it needs to be a medium factory. Forgot about this aspect because it requires steel presses. So if we go back, we don't want car factory 3, we do want car factory 2. Do we just add in the trims and deal with it? Or do we try to build 2 medium factories, one large and one small? Via these. Appear to be working quite right. Numbers don't look how they should. Destroy that factory. Start a new one. Archana. Huge plot. Medium factory. We'll go with 3. Steel presses. We're getting 3, 6, 12, 18. A little bit less on most of those, but with a little bit more. Ooh, expensive factory. That'll put us at 1,800 cars per month. Roughly. And we'll definitely want to maximize pressure. We want to maximize funding. 86 months is still a long time, but we'll do it. We'll stick with it. We have our engine. We need to get this one its factory. We need at least 1,800 engines per month. We'll do a medium one. It's 2,000 engines a month. A little bit more, and that gives us cushion. Much cheaper factory. And then we can definitely dial down the funding, the pressure. You can make the engines more reliable, automate the process some, get some better tooling, and there we go. That's almost 86 months. Engine's about as cheap as it's going to be. Might be able to get away with a size factory is this? Medium 1. Okay. Well, I'm pretty happy with that. They're going to learn a lot about engines. And we'll sign off on that project. Fine with that. Come back to our car. Now the tough choice. Ooh, that looks bleak. Paid off in a longer time. It's cheaper. More people buy it. I think I'm going to go with the cheapest, lowest margin. Trim price, trim sales price, margin. Production costs, tooling costs. We're not much above the cost on this one. On the first year. Past that, it looks good. I'm not going to adjust the sales price anymore. Do we really want that high a max? Earning us money. Target 2. We'll give a higher maximum. 2.4 shifts. 2.5 max. That'll give some overtime costs. Labor really isn't that expensive. We can actually afford that a bit. We're totally pessimistic about all this. Okay, that looks like it'll be pretty successful. Get things ticking along. Car factory takes a lot more time to make. That's not surprising. It's big. Sign off on it. There we go. That's the other engine which don't... Oh, that was an experimental engine. I was thinking of engineering it as a side project. Did that off camera as well. But if I decide to sign off on it and actually spend the money to do that sort of project, then I will. Although, come to think of it, making a project as a concept car, just practice on. Take their time. Let's take a look. 2.6 wheelbase. What about doing a 1950s coupe? We're going to be doing steel. Have familiarity with ladder. Are we really going to do monocoque? I think the answer is no. Because it takes too much to produce. It's expensive. A lot more to tool for. We'll go with ladder. Steel. Probably stick with the solid axle coil. And my trailing arm for the rear. Do we want to up the quality? Really going to extend the time it takes to engineer this and make it more expensive to engineer. But we're not building this car. Select an existing engine. Go to that engine project. Have our engine family, dual overhead cam. or valve, aluminum head, which will reduce reliability. That gives us some, I don't know, let's stick with the cast iron headers. Then we'll edit this variant, which we have full size, cast all across. Oh, I forgot. Actually, there's no quality slider on that one. We'll bring this up to 10. Top end. 10. Nothing for aspiration. Turbos are a long way away. Fuel system and exhaust. So nothing to change on the top end. We'll fix that in a little bit. We do want the single barrel eco. Keep building up some familiarity with that. We'll leave it for now. Lean mixture, ignition timing's fine. We can definitely, with the quality improvements, stretch out the RPM limits, 6,700. Long tubular are the shortest, or least, they weigh the least, so there's a reason to go do long tubular. I think we're going to stick with short cast unless there's a severe restriction. I think we'll do double mufflers so that we get more experience with them. Not sure it works that way. I'm going to do. And we can increase the compression. Where's our restrictions? Intakes. Not surprising. Performance helps some. Not really. The limitation is the actual intake. But we're not going to switch away from that. Push the cam profile up to 50. Alright, with that, we'll hold the engine. Actually, no, we have to... Right there. Now we'll hold the engine. We will drop it 1. And increase timing. And that puts us at a better performance. A little bit more cooling required, a little less fuel efficiency. Going from 85 to 87 horsepower. Worth it? No. We'll hold it, increase compression, decrease timing. We drop 2 horsepower, and we lose fuel efficiency. We're already right about where we needed to be for ignition timing on fuel efficiency. With that, we drop the exhaust. There we get the fuel efficiency boost. 17.4, 17.7. Now we're actually starving the engine. 44mm exhaust. Good amount of fuel efficiency. Like it. The exhaust is also a restricting factor, that's fine. So quiet. Double reverse mufflers will do that. I'm not sure what I'll call it yet. Take a look at our engines. I want to... What have we been naming them? Okay. So we have 1.6 liter straight Nope, sport. Concept. Be the first of this particular concept. Have the displacement, I4. We need is the actual 90 horsepower. A 16x90 kV1 engine. That takes care of that one. Head back to the car project. I still don't know what we're going to call this one. Call it the Panda Red 51. We've got the right model. Quality slider 10. We'll leave it nice and cherry red. That maybe... There we go, a deeper red. Not gonna worry about trims. I might do fixtures later. Not gonna worry about it right now. Rear wheel drive, actually, yes, because that's still gonna be common. 4x4, probably not so much. So, should we develop some familiarity with 4x4? If we're going to be building any off-road vehicles. And there's a benefit to having a 4x4 racing vehicle. Heavier, but easier to control with applying power. I like some of these things. 4 gears. Spacing will leave. Should we do the locker? I think I'll leave it open. Add our quality. Add our quality. Cross ply. Definitely doing hard long life. Think I will build some familiarity with the sports compound. Do a bigger, nope, that's as big as they get. And do a larger diameter. 18-inch rims. Full diameter. Full width. Is really not all that wide. Bring the front tires out slightly. Rear ones can stay. Increase quality. Need better brakes. Leave it at 55. We don't need an off-road skid tray. We don't need to develop familiarity with that. Leave the cooling airflow where it needs to be. Oh, I can still morph it. Leave it for now. If I do morph it, I'll let you know. Basic interior, no entertainment. We're developing familiarity with that. We're going to continue to develop familiarity with that. Don't foresee us. That's the whole purpose of this concept car. We will develop some familiarity with 50s safety. There's definitely a benefit to that. High quality. We'll set up for a sports suspension. Just default. Absolutely nobody wants this vehicle. It's just fine. Meant to get our people some familiarity. Certainly very expensive. Coordinates about where I want it. Actually, no, it isn't. Could be sportier. Be weird to have thinner rear tires. And we adjust the camber sufficient. Not really, we don't have a lot of room left. Lower the ride height. Doesn't bottom. Do a race suspension. Why not? There we go. That quality 1. Keep it uniform 10 across the board. We do not need that big a brake. Front brakes still not too sufficient. Very expensive experimental brakes. Brake fade, not a concern actually. Wheel spin, not a concern. Alright, there we go. We have one crazy car. I will actually go ahead and export. Or no, I won't. I don't have the fixtures for it yet. Oh no, I think I broke it. Alright, I'll be right back after I recover it. Hopefully we didn't lose everything. Welcome back. I redid everything after the game crashed. And everything might not be exactly the same. I know I'll lower the quality for the Panda Red. I'm not making a factory for this. Yes. And go back. That's what I wanted. We need to sign off on this engine. It's going to take forever to engineer. Then, why can we not sign off on this? Like, we don't have factory for this engine. Just want to engineer it. Is that not a thing? I will wait then. And we will roll some time. So we will go at a 2 times pace. Making some money with the grumble still. Competitors releasing. Another competitor releasing. 3 new cars. Another competitor. No taxes. Not this year. Shortly we should see sales of the grumble stop as it retools. New cars. New cars. 10 million in taxes. Now we're making money again. Seeing an upturn in the economy. Big upturn in the economy. 13% growth almost. There we go. We're getting a whole bunch of new options this upcoming year. I'm not going to spend any additional on research and development until we get a release of our vehicle. Minimum safety regulations updated. Fruinia needs a little bit more. Fruinia does not. There's some tooling costs. That's going to hurt us for a while. And 56. I've been trying to do redesigns about every 5 years. So, we'll take our Grumble, add a new facelift. Update both vehicles, which will not be called clones, they will be called 56. We'll do the same with the engine. Get us up to KV3 for the engine. Activate. Do 56, change our naming conventions this year. Edit the variant, not much has changed. We could maybe squeeze just a hair more out. Save that one, drop. That's not helping our fuel efficiency, it is helping our horsepower. And do higher RPM, but I don't think we're going to do that. We're just going to revert. Stick with that. The car is not very loud, so we're not going to throw a muffler on there. They're cheap, and it works. Then we have our skating. Do we want to change the trim this year? Switch it to an automatic at last, which will help in the family sport. Not be in the family sport section. Family utility budget, sure. Barely meets that one. Definitely not a family sport vehicle. Don't know where that came from. A little bit of overdrive. Mellow out the spacing some. Stay away from the locker. Not changing the tires. Those will stay the same. Brakes. Single shoe on the front. Dushu is better. Can do is we put more bias in the back. Because we're already maxed out in the back brakes. Like those brakes are locking up. Do a 60-40. Next, airflow, of course. No brake fade. Oh, no, there is some. We're not going to worry about it though. No standard interiors, way too expensive. Safety, still not too interested. Power steering, too expensive. Suspension, no, they're still not interested. Okay. Minimal change. And then our light delivery vehicle. Already an automatic. Manual locker, which I do believe they like. No changes to tires. I mean, we could do radial. We're not going to mess with their brakes. More of their interior. Safety, we'll take a look. Steering, we'll take a look. So no suspension. Nope, not interested. Alright. There we go. There's our new grumble trims. Or facelift. They continue on with the same factory. In fact, could I expand that factory? Probably not. It's gonna be selling less and less. We're not gonna keep the factory as is. Anything we will reduce. Automation some. Spend a few millions on automation, a few millions on tooling. Sign it off. Move forward. Drop the, well, we need to keep pressure somewhat up. Go with 70. Funding will drop to 70. Dirt cheap. We'll keep the reliability up. Maybe lower it a little bit. We can get it under 10 months or 12 months. Slightly more money at it, and there we go. Actually, for the benefit of our engineers, why don't we spend about $1 million? Just to get less pressure. Then we have the engine. Gotta do the same thing for them. Their factory cooling very good. No changes there. All about reliability. Need 12 months. Get it up to 80. Alright, how about 90? There, we get some experience from this. Drop the reliability by 2. That buys us a little bit more time. Sign off the engine. Do 5 years. Max shifts 2.5. And sign off. There we go. Now the question is, do we want to design another car before we've even finished this one? We've got our 1956 trims out. I think... I don't even know how successful this is going to be. I'm going to take a manual save. I want to think about it off camera. And we'll see where things fall when we come back to it. So with that, thank you for staying to the end. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time. Take care.